Episode 133 of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday was something a little bit different. Everyone left the producer in the studio, so Matt had to hold things down while Jimmy Lewis called in from a cabin. We interrupted his vacation for him to answer some tech questions and rate some great bikes along with some of his friends. There's a lot of good questions this episode, so you're going to learn a lot if you listen. I want to thank our sponsors, Yamaha, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, Takamoto, and Trail Tech. Without them, this wouldn't be possible, and now here's the show. All right. Live from Pahrump, Nevada, it is Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. I'm your host, Matt Mattoon. The normal host, Jimmy Lewis, is out on vacation, but we will be bringing him in shortly. Well, you already heard him. And Logan Tyler is, I don't know exactly where he is. But anyway, this is the show about dirt bikes and motorcycle-related products. And can't wait to get into it with you guys. This show would not be possible without Yamaha, Takamoto, Scott Sports, Climb, DDC, and Trail Tech. Speaking of Takamoto, I actually ran into a Takamoto billboard today on my way to get bagels and coffee. It was just a sticker on a no trespassing sign, but I'm going to call that free advertising. So anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to bring on Jimmy Lewis because he's just sitting here eating a quesadilla. So that's a perfect time to bring him on. Hey, Jimmy.
It's Tech Talk Taco Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Am I muted or am I good?
Tuesday. No, you're good. You're good.
Right. So welcome, everybody, to my show that's not really my show anymore. Matt seems to have taken it over, but
only for the day.
I'm on vacation, which is, but just for you, I'm here to answer your questions because Matt can't. So this is how we're gonna start. I'll try to finish most of my taco by the time the questions really get in, but Matt would like to tell you who brings you this show, our sponsors, which, by the way, we really like our sponsors. We trust our sponsors, and without them, this wouldn't be possible. I would actually be completely on vacation without any worries whatsoever. So I love our sponsors.
Right. Well, I believe what you just described was retirement.
Retirement.
Yeah.
You're trying to get me retired?
Well, no, not really. But, if you retire, then there would be no job for me to do on Tuesday nights.
So, no, I'm just vacationing right now. That's it. So, yeah, riding skis and snowboards and dirt bikes. Good life.
Yeah. How is the skiing and snowboarding been? Because it's been windy and cold here.
Snow's been epic. Yeah, it's been cold. It was good. Like we had, all different kinds of weather up here. So it's really, really nice.
Sweet. Well, while you eat that quesadilla, I'm actually going to do a little Yamaha sponsor read about some two-strokes.
Right.
I'm excited to hopefully ride some this week. I might have some time.
Trevor's asking to get back. I mean, he's already asking. And so, Trevor, if you're watching, what you need to do is finish up, get more questions from whatever it is, one of those platforms, Grinder. I think that's where you can get his questions from and then bring them to the show.
I don't know if we want the questions from Grinder on the show, but anyway. So
isn't it like TikTok?
No, totally different. One of these days I want to ask you I want to do a quiz video with you, asking about current trends and social media platforms. I just want to see what you can get right and wrong. I think it'd be really fun.
Okay, that's what you do. Ask me questions. So tell us about the Yamaha's amazing two-stroke line.
Yeah, so you can experience pure performance and exhilarating power with the full line of Yamaha YZ two-stroke bikes. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new for 2022. The revised and really fun YZ125 makes a perfect step-up machine, or the perfect machine for just getting back into it. And sorry, I lost my spot. Featuring an all-new engine, revised 6-speed transmission, new brakes and suspension settings, improved rider ergonomics, and new aggressive styling and more. The YZ250 also delivers improved rider ergonomics, new front and rear brakes, updated suspension settings, and aggressive styling. For a truly race-inspired look, check out the YZ250 and YZ125 Yamaha YZ125, Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Editions. And for the next generation of riders, the YZ65, 85, and 85LW deliver big bike specs in a smaller package. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com to find your Yamaha YZ and enter the victory zone today.
Matt, sounds like, according to the chat room, it sounds like you need a little more volume. I don't know if you picked this up already.
No, I saw it. I read the message. That's what caught me out. That's what got me in the middle of that read. How do I sound now, chat? What's that?
Logan is better than you at that.
He's had more practice. I've never had to do a sponsor read.
Right on.
So, chat, let me know how this sounds, because I did turn myself up a little bit. Oh, I could actually, on my monitor, I can turn myself up a little bit more.
Hey, really important, man. I want to know, how's my cat doing?
She's doing good. My mom actually got a really good picture of her Saturday. I think you'll like it a lot. I was going to post it on my Instagram.
Was she ripping a bunny rabbit in half?
She wasn't. She was stalking a tree, like a tree branch, though. So maybe there was like a bird that we just couldn't see. She was having a blast with the trees in your front yard.
Yeah, good. Glad my pussy's doing well. So keep an eye on that.
I got a great picture that I'll give.
I got a lab right here that's picking up all the taco stuff that I spill on the floor. So I'm liking the animals these days. I'm getting soft.
Yeah. Is the dog allowed in? I'm guessing the dog's allowed inside, though.
Yeah, different. Not my house.
Right. Different rules. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything.
What do we got for questions?
Okay, so from Johnny Humphreys. Now I don't. So my notes were a little mixed up from last week. So let's see here. So have y'all ever considered easy full levers on left side rear brake kits? Midwest Mountain Engineering versus Clark versus OK, etc. Yeah. Can you hear me right now?
No, you clipped out a couple times, but I don't know where that audio went. But I can actually. It's funny because now I can read the thing on the live feed. I can.
Oh, really?
I can sort of see the questions, but it clipped out. So he was talking about left-hand rear brakes,
right?
And he called one. Did he call it Clark?
Yeah. He said Midwest Mountain Engineering versus Clark versus OX.
So, I'm not super familiar with a bunch of those. So, I know Recluse makes one. They make a whole system that basically it's another reservoir that's actually angled at the right angle and does all the right things, and it's solely a rear brake, and it goes, and you can either run it in conjunction with your rear brake foot pedal. You can run it in line so they both work, or you can just take your pedal off and then it'll be 100% lever. I have one of these and I've tested it, and my rear brake should be down by my foot. That's why I don't really do a lot with this. I've ridden bikes with this thing called the Clake, and the Clake is a clutch and brake, is a very complicated set of hydraulic chambers that will both disengage the clutch as you pull it in and start applying the rear brake. So in theory, when you pull the clutch in and disengage, it'll actually start dragging the brake. And then if you pull it in harder, it'll lock up the brake. And you can make a lot of adjustments to this thing. I've ridden a couple bikes with it. I don't like it because sometimes I pull my clutch in because I want to rev the bike up. And at that time, I do not want, I want to get a pop of acceleration, and I don't want anything dragging on my brake that I'm not in control of. So this is a bit of a concern for me, but I've heard some guys that really like it, and they can kind of adjust the way it's set up, because anytime they pull in their clutch, they're also supposed to be stepping on their rear brake. And this way they don't have to do two things. I don't know how that would work. I don't think it's designed to work in conjunction with the Recluse. So I don't know exactly how that, would work that way. Midwest Mountain Engineering makes a brake lever. It's just they make clutch levers and brake levers that have a different pivot point, which essentially it makes them feel real easy, but it also changes the leverage ratio, and it changes the amount the fluid that it pushes. And I'm actually, the biggest thing I'm not a fan of is the lever shape. They're very bulky and kind of square. And so, but that's not like a left-hand rear brake kind of thing. So that's different. I don't know. Maybe they're making something now that's some sort of a left-hand rear brake setup. I'm not aware of this, so I don't know. But yeah, I think the left-hand rear brake works really well for people that come from a mountain bike background or bicycle background. They're used to having their brake up there. But classic motorcycle riders, we still have it kind of down by our feet. So of all those, I think, if the Clake is kind of its own monster, the Recluse system that just works. And there was one other that you talked about, or what was it called?
OX.
An OX. I think this is the one that actually has a cable that goes from your clutch lever down, and it actually pulls on your brake pedal. I think that's the one, and I haven't had much luck with those just because the pull ratio was kind of awkward and it just seems sort of vague. So and it was a long time since I've run something like that, but I think that's the one that I didn't run it. It was on a customer bike. Mm-hmm. So that's what I think.
Yeah, another thing that I ran into when I was working at that shop in Alaska was a lot of people up there actually liked the left-handed brake just because there was a lot of off cambers and some really awkward situations that you have to ride a bike in, i.e. river crossings as well, which I was really bad at those. But I know up there the left-hand brakes were really popular for those reasons.
Why would it be popular for? I can see if you're going on a downhill off camber where the hill is on the brake side and you want to take your foot off and dab. I can kind of see this.
Yeah, yeah.
You can also stall your bike and use your clutch lever as a brake at that point. So,
which is something we teach at the running school.
We teach this at the school. But if you have a Recluse, then and I don't know, was the Recluse popular in Alaska?
I don't really remember it being very popular
because it seems like those go hand in hand, like a Recluse and left-hand brake. Because all of a sudden you're never going to, you shouldn't need your clutch lever. So then you can put something up there. You can put a brake lever. And the only time I ever use it, I have one on my Husaber. I literally have that on there, but it's kind of for an emergency when I'm doing something dumb and I jump off the bike to the I guess it's the left side. If I jump off the left side and the bike wants to roll back down a hill, that way I can use the hand brake to stop it. But that's my take on that.
Yeah, the chat is actually inputting on this. So George Justice is saying, I've heard good things about the OX left-hand rear brake. I like the latest Recluse left-hand rear brake when my short leg makes the pedal out of play. And then 707 Lake from YouTube is saying, Clark makes a standalone handbrake, exactly how you explained. The Recluse handbrake, the OX is hydraulic now, cable is cheaper model now.
Okay. These are things I'm not too interested in personally, so I don't have a whole lot of time to test them. I usually get to test them when I ride a customer bike that has it on there, and half the time I go and grab the clutch. I think I'm going to use the clutch, and it's like, oh wait, this isn't a clutch. I can just tell by the feel it's doing something different. So, yeah, not a fan personally, but if it fits your needs, then good for you.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've ridden a couple bikes with the left-hand brake, and I kept accidentally using it like a clutch because I was just so ingrained to using the clutch. And I personally don't really like the Recluses. I know you do, but I don't. So when there's left-hand rear brake, it just kind of short circuits my brain just because.
Yeah, Recluses are for old people that want to improve a skill level just by installing something on their bike.
Or a 16-year-old who buys a 300 with one and thinks he's going to be a great rider because of it.
Yeah, I love my Recluse. I really like them. So, okay.
So while we're on the Recluse, really quick, Finn825 has asked, has the Recluse improved the way you ride?
Has it improved? Yes. And this goes back a long ways. It goes back to when they very first started making them. There was Revlocks and Recluses and stuff. And as I started learning how to tune them and set them up, I started learning how how low of an RPM a bike could chug down to, because I was always, you're always sort of afraid the bike's going to stall. But when you're doing the Recluse, it would let the bike really lug down. And most guys will like be slipping the clutch, even at a point in the power band where there's decent torque to make it not stall, and you just don't trust it. And so it really taught me to trust the torque of the motorcycle. And I find that most people that run them, they're always thinking that their bike's going to stall. And then they realize that they were always slipping their clutch and running their bike to a higher power level and getting the wheel to spin all the time. And when I started trusting that, now even on a clutch bike, and especially with fuel injection getting so much better, you can do big throttle openings at low RPMs and realize that the bike's not going to stall. And since the bike's running lower RPM, it's making less power and it's getting better traction. So this is how it helped me become quite a bit better rider.
Mm-hmm. Do you run it on your 300 TPI bike?
I do not right now. I don't want to put it on that because I want to use that bike to do some demos and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't like having it. I don't like having a bike on, or a Recluse on a bike that I do demos and stuff on, because I can't explain some things because most people don't have a Recluse. Right. But on most of the bikes that I ride, like the bike I rode a KTM 350 all day today and had a Recluse clutch in it. And I can't think of any time today when it was, there's no time today when it wasn't anything but perfect and better. And I set mine up a little bit different than the way they come. I set them to engage at even lower RPM because I like them to drag. So when I like, if I do a skid, if I want to slide the back in and I skid and I release the brake, mine are set up so low that they will actually, it'll re-engage. The standard ones, a lot of times, if you skid, if you don't come back on the gas just a little bit, they will freewheel. And I don't like that sensation of the Recluse clutch. So.
Got it. And that's why you always say Recluse will tell people that you set them up wrong or something.
No,
they
don't recommend my setup, because when you put on my bike, if you put my bike in gear, it will creep. And you'll hear the chain kind of like slapping and want to go. You almost have to have your finger on the brake or your foot on the brake a little bit when the bike's in gear. And when it's cold, especially with cold oil, generally they'll stall. The oil has to be warmed up before mine start working perfectly. But that's not an issue. I warm my bikes up. So
right. Cool. So you mentioned a 350, and that's actually a great segue into the next question. So this is from Brian B on one of our older YouTube videos. Please, how can I make my loud 2011 EXCF with a stock muffler as quiet as the 2019?
Okay, run that by me again. What year?
So it's a 2011.
He has
and this was, I believe, on a 350 video.
Oh, well, if it was a 2011, I don't think it would be an EXC. He probably has an SX. And so he has the motocross muffler on it. So the best thing to do at that point is to get a quiet muffler, like an FMFQ, or I know Takamoto has a few options. They have a, what's the one Mike was telling me about the other day? By the way, did you get my gas tank?
Yeah, I got all of your parts. They're in the normal spot in the garage.
Awesome.
Yeah.
The Taco Mike was telling me about is, I think, Graves. He's starting to work with Graves on exhaust systems. And he says, I haven't tested one, so I can't say for sure, but Graves has a muffler, and they have a dB killer that they put into it that kind of tones the volume down. I think you can get a Promoto billet end cap for the stock SX muffler, and that'll take a little bit of the sound out. You can probably buy someone's used EXC muffler or a stock muffler from someone that's put an accessory muffler on there. That would be an option too. So those would be good options. Okay.
So giving them a few different options there. Okay. So moving on to the next question. This is from Fixing a Slipping Clutch video. Polar Bear 321. I have a question. My old bike, if you put it in gear and pulled the clutch in, it would move like it would move like neutral. But my new one, you put it in gear and pull the clutch in and push it. I see why Logan struggles with reading this. And push it. All that happens is thump. But I did this test on my new bike and it bogged, but I don't think my old bike bogged, by the way. My test, it was on concrete with the bike not running. I was just putting it in gear, pulling the clutch in, and walking next to it.
So what is he actually doing? Can you tell me that in English?
Right. Now I was struggling reading this. So let's see. I have a question. My old bike, if you put it in gear and pulled the clutch in, it would move like neutral. Yeah,
that doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
Or so was he putting it in gear and he said he held the clutch in and he put it in gear.
Oh, and it would move. So if he pulled the clutch in, the bike would roll back and forth like if it was in neutral. That's what he's saying. So like he puts it in gear, pulls the clutch in, and then now he's saying his new bike, he pulls the clutch in, he pushes it. All that happens is like a thump, and I'm guessing it just doesn't like push as much or push as easily.
So it's dragging.
I believe that's what he's describing here.
Does he know how to adjust his clutch? Okay, I'm just going to start at the basics. Is your clutch adjusted properly? And a lot of people don't know how to do this, and they don't understand the way that it works. Did he say what kind of bike this is?
He did not mention this.
Okay.
No.
So cable and hydraulic are both quite a bit different, but for the most part, the hydraulic is what we'll call self-regulating. So as long as the piston can open, the piston and the master cylinder can open back up, it's just gonna push a certain amount of fluid through there, and it's gonna open the clutch. As long as there's no air in it, it'll open it plenty to disengage it if everything in the clutch is fine. I'll get to the clutch in a minute, like what's down in the clutch. But
right.
Hydraulic system, as long as it's bled and everything is good, you shouldn't have to worry about it. The cable, you have to be very concerned about the cable and that it has a small amount of free play. In other words, it's not putting pressure on the clutch because the cable isn't, quote, long enough. So it needs to be a small amount of free play. And there shouldn't be so much free play that when you pull the cable, it doesn't completely disengage the clutch. So this is the dynamic we're working with here. Is the cable has the lever has a certain amount of throw, and it pulls the cable a certain distance, and you need to make sure that that's completely disengaged in the clutch. I've seen people have so much free play in their cables that it won't disengage the clutch. They can't even two-finger it because it bumps into their knuckles, and then it doesn't disengage all the way. So that's an adjustment issue. And then there are different levers and different perches. And I've seen guys put perches on that have different leverage ratios, and then it doesn't disengage the clutch, or it makes the pull really hard and then it disengages very quickly. So that's the lever kind of conundrum, the lever issue. So once you get into the clutch, if your plates are warped or worn, a lot of times that's going to cause a certain amount of drag. And at that point, you're going to it's going to creep and it's not going to be as fluid. So we need a little more information. Like, did the clutch get hot? Did you fry the clutch a little bit and cause some warpage down there? Or is it a cable clutch, and is it the adjustment? Maybe if it's a hydraulic clutch, maybe there's some air in it, and this makes it not work very well because air compresses a lot more than the fluid. So that's where we're at with that. Hopefully that helps somebody, someplace, sometime, somewhere.
All right. Hopefully. Okay, so this is coming from the chat on Facebook. Chris Smith, 22 YZ 250F, first MX bike in a while, and didn't realize how tall first gear was. What's a good starting point for a rear sprocket for off road? I really never use fifth gear. Would prefer. Oh, someone from the chat moved on me. Would prefer just changing the rear sprocket because I often switch to Supermoto setup.
Just changing the rear sprocket. Usually, I don't know, up 2 to 3 would be to give you a more enduro-like first gear. So I don't know what size it is, but you really don't want to be going much bigger than like 52 teeth on the rear sprocket, because then your sprocket starts getting a little bit big, and then it's hard on the chain guide and catches on more rocks and things like that. So maybe that would help out.
Mm-hmm. Would there be any like mapping changes that would help with that as well?
He was on a YZ250 two-stroke or YZ?
No, it's a YZ250F.
YZ250, yeah. Mapping changes. It's basically what's happening is he's just like he wants to go slower in first gear, and he's not able to do that. That is the big problem with the motocross bikes. When you take a motocross bike off road, they have a tall first gear, and if you're not doing really technical stuff, you're not going to notice this. And then this is the same reason a lot of riders like Trevor is included in this. He doesn't like the wide ratio gearboxes because he wants to be in second gear, and the gap between first and second on a lot of those bikes is too big. So it's kind of a trade-off, and you just have to kind of understand the lucky thing with Chris is that he's not using fifth gear. If you're using all the gears and you get to fifth and you've geared it so first gear is low and you want to come out on a road and ride down a road not revving it to go 60 miles an hour, I mean really revving it, then you have a problem.
Right. Cool. So Finn Meyerhoff on Facebook, since we were talking about cable clutches, have you found the 2019 and up CRF 450X difficult to pull with one finger? I can't seem to do it. One finger maybe, but I don't think that's a difficult clutch to pull in. I think it's I would say medium stiffness, but probably not exactly. And it's funny because I notice on that bike, depending on where you have it adjusted, it makes a big difference. If you can run it a little bit, I'll call it more free play, the lever closer to the bar, the pull actually gets easier by quite some margin on that bike. And if you look at our tests on dirtbiketest.com of that bike, we talk, especially on one of the modified ones that we did, we talked about some of the clutch mods we did with some Recluse parts and had really good success. I don't think it changed too much the pull. It might, it might have. Well, we ended up going to a Recluse, the higher end one, now I'm drawing blanks on the names, but we did it in steps. We just replaced the plates with the Recluse stuff. That helps some. And then, we did some springs and all these different things, but we went to the full on EXP, CX, the whole 9 yards. And it got good after that. But that was because we never had to pull the clutch lever anymore. So you could do that. You could just throw a Recluse in it and never have to pull the clutch lever again. Then you wouldn't worry about it. So the first thing that came to my mind when I actually read that question, would lubing the cable actually help out?
Absolutely. I just took it for granted that his cable is nice and lubed up, and that that was good. The other thing on that bike is some people have had good success with buying like kind of the billet clutch cable mount that bolts onto the side. It's basically, it replaces a steel piece, and it's a nice little billet piece that bolts onto the side of the side cover and stuff in it. Some of them change the position a little bit, and I know Big John had one on his 450X, and he really thought it helped. So,
yeah. So George put in the chat, I rode my 790 all day today, and I was thinking about how the cable clutch got a lot of negative attention at first, but it seemed like a non-issue to me.
Most of the, I really like the hydraulic clutches, but if you have a perfectly functioning cable clutch and a perfectly functioning hydraulic clutch, they both work excellent. And I don't think there's a big difference. Some riders can claim that they prefer the feel of one over the other. And I know a lot of the racers that really, really abuse the clutch don't like the hydraulic one because the clutch lever doesn't change feel, and they can't tell it's getting hot. So they can really be like, they can tell with their cable clutch because, the cable clutch doesn't self-compensate, but a hydraulic clutch will. And then there's also been some riders that say they have a hard time getting a certain kind of feel off of the start. When they're doing a really aggressive start, they don't get the same feel with one or the other. And it's a little bit different feel, but I don't think there's an advantage one way or the other. Like I wasn't, like Kawasaki and Honda, the last two that have gone to the hydraulic clutch. And I don't want to say it was any sort of a huge improvement on either of those bikes. For when we talked to all the riders, it was kind of like some could take it and some could leave it. And the KTMs for sure, when they went to hydraulic clutch, was a big deal, and it was good. It took a little, like any new thing, it took a little bit of teething and people complained about stuff, but they spent a lot of time getting the ratio right. And that's why they play around with different brands of components on different bikes, because they provide different feels.
Mm-hmm. Going back to the cable clutch thing, Mitch Orr was also saying you could try and lube the pivot bolt where the clutch lever slides. He says that'll help a lot too.
Yeah, Chris says we nailed it. Whatever. Oh no, he was talking about the gearing.
Yeah, the gearing. Yeah,
the gearing. Yeah, I get confused names.
Right.
Yeah, on the cable clutches, lubing the pivot does help a bunch. So yeah, the pivot, even where the lever, I've seen people over torque the bolt and pinch down on the clutch lever, and that causes problems as well. So lots of issues. You getting ready for Rooster Endo, Marco? You hydrating up?
Are they coming on for Rooster Endo, or did they want to come on sooner?
Marco's coming on for Rooster Endo.
Shaved.
Okay.
Oh, he shaved for Rooster Endo. He's looking.
Oh wow, he's doing better than me.
I almost did an endo today.
Unlike me, he's taking this show serious.
Almost did.
Right.
That would have been legit.
So, did you want to talk about electric Hondas today? I have that on my show notes.
Oh yeah, Honda released an electric motorcycle. Honda's got an electric off-road bike. It's not really a Honda though. Well, it is a Honda.
They outsourced it to a different company. I forgot what it was called already.
Can you pop up the picture of this?
If you give me a few seconds, I can. Here,
okay.
I'll switch it to your screen so
I can just jibber jabber about this. So
yeah.
So
Mark isn't going to be the
no, Honda. They had to have been knowing Honda. They had to have been working on this for a long time. So they released basically a 50cc sized kids bike, 10-inch wheels. It's in conjunction with a company called Grainger, Grenger.
Grainger,
this company this is the company, and in my research, which wasn't a whole lot, but I was on vacation. They make one thing. They make this 22 CRF. What do they call it?
It's a CRF E2.
E2. I don't know why it's a 2. I never thought about it. So it's an officially licensed product, and I asked a couple people in the industry, like, hey, why this? What's the reasoning for this? And there's a lot of reasons for it. I got a lot of different answers, but it seems like that you start looking at how you got to look at how the bicycle market works. And especially electric bicycle market, there's people that make powertrains and people that make batteries and people that make, we'll call powertrain the engine. They make the controller. They make all of the different things, and then you sort of build. And the bicycle's been this way forever. You build a frame and then you get the components and you add the components on. So this thing, it actually looks pretty cool. It looks like they've done a really cool job. It has a replaceable battery. It has disc brakes front and rear. It'll be interesting to see like where some of these components are sourced. This company, Grainger, is actually based in Southern California, but I doubt that any of the parts are actually made or manufactured there. I'm pretty sure they're just assembling it. And it was kind of like, well, why would this work like this? I mean, it's a great deal for them because they get to use the Honda Power Sports dealer network to be able to distribute this thing and handle the selling of parts and things like that, I suspect. And these things probably won't need a whole lot of parts in reality, but it's got a replaceable, interchangeable battery, and the battery supposedly has they say best in class runtime. So I'm sure they're comparing it to the KTM little E5.
The KTM equivalents.
Yeah, the KTM equivalent. But I'm pretty sure this is nowhere near the same performance level as that bike. But yeah, it's coming. And this is a perfect starting platform for e-bikes. Not claiming you're going to drop an 80 horsepower Stark Varg on us, and with it's going to charge in an hour and run in an hour and charge in 2 and all the other stuff. But no, it's cool to see Honda jump in there. I'm pretty sure you're going to see the other manufacturers do it. Why is it like an officially licensed product? I imagine it's maybe a little bit of kind of a liability thing, possibly if the so if you plug it in and the battery explodes or something like that, it's not a Honda.
I would say, like, if it flops, Honda doesn't take full responsibility. Like, if it doesn't sell, which I imagine it's going to sell really quick.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it. I mean, Honda has a certain durability and quality standard, and maybe this is a way that they can kind of get around some of that. Maybe they don't. It doesn't have to be at the high level, but they're producing stuff all over the world, and their bikes, their some of their CRF models, the family bikes, they're built in all over the place. South America, they're built in Taiwan and China and places like this. So, but this is just the nature of the global economy. So,
yeah. So about how long do you think before like Yamaha, Kawasaki come out with their own version of this?
No idea. It's kind of funny because I'm looking, on the performance side of things. You're going to see something pretty soon coming out and from somebody, because the Stark Varg thing, that kind of poked the bear a little bit. I'm sure it was announced and done to raise money, to kind of keep that going. But that's, you look at how things, crowdsource things are built, and you need interest and stuff like that. And it was, somebody compared it to like, what do they compare? Who, Marco, you remember who are they comparing when they're talking about the Stark? What do they compare it to? Volcom making a sticker and turned it into a multi-million-dollar T-shirt company.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, and it was the hype. They started with something they started with something, they had nothing. They started with something and it was hype, and they carried that on to making stuff. But that's clothes, not a high-performance motorcycle that has a ton of technology. It's not that technology isn't going to be ready in 2 or 3 years. It's that they're talking about delivering those things in November, and I just don't see, with all the amount of orders they have and stuff like that, I just don't see them being able to produce that. But they're evidently inviting journalists to go over and ride it, but they don't want somebody who's really going to test it. I'll tell you that.
So Dirt Bike Test doesn't get their invitation's going to get lost in the mail?
Dirt Bike Test is not going. Not that I know of. I don't know. I haven't heard. Haven't been invited. You can watch Josh Hill videos. Yeah. He'll tell you everything you need to know about it.
Yeah. The chat was putting something in about this.
Mitch is talking about that battery thing. That's for more like city bikes, and a lot of the companies kind of decided on a singular battery platform, so that like basically you go get propane bottles, at Home Depot, and your propane bottle will plug into your barbecue, and they're all the same size. It's this. It doesn't matter who makes the barbecue. The propane bottle will fit. And that's what they're talking about doing with batteries. And this is more for like urban bikes and city bikes, so that you're able to go places with them. And I don't think that this is going to be something that you're going to be able. I don't think these vehicles are going to be designed maybe in the future they'll have longer range ones where you know, let's say you're going to ride from Los Angeles to Vegas, and maybe in Barstow there's going to be a battery station someplace where you can just replace a battery. But this is still a long ways off.
You're right. The infrastructure needs to catch up.
Yeah, I think they just kind of made an agreement to say, hey, we're all kind of behind this, because that way they can utilize this. You know, it's an advantage for all of them for the range, but you're not going to find a battery station out on the trail out in the middle of nowhere. And it'll be interesting to see if there's if when these bikes, the higher performance bikes come, if they're going to have interchangeable batteries or easily drop in and out batteries, which they should. So at the track, or you can have your 2 batteries and you can quickly change them. The Alta did not have this. The Alta, you literally had to take the frame apart to get the battery in and out. And so you had to have a giant diesel generator if you wanted to ride your second Moto.
Right.
They wouldn't run long enough. I think Zero has an interchangeable battery on some of theirs, but I'm not familiar.
Yeah. I hope the chat doesn't eviscerate me for this, but I'm actually excited to see the electric bikes come in.
I am too.
I think it's going to be a great way to help, broaden the appeal of dirt bikes, as a whole, riding off road and motocross, just because I think one of the intimidating factors that's keeping people from wanting to get into it is the maintenance of the bikes. I think that's something that can put a lot of people off, because the majority of the population doesn't really know how to turn a wrench.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to go. If you want performance, you're going to have to have maintenance, and
right.
And I don't have enough experience with, high performance electric motors to know what they require and how much work, and can you work on them? Can you rebuild them? It's going to all be all new. And until we have them and we see, I don't know if, is a Stark Varg a 500-hour motor? Was an Alta 500-hour motor? I don't know. I never had the opportunity to put that much time on one, and I don't.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
Yeah,
and I know for high performance that you will always need a lot of maintenance and a lot of different things you can play around with. But
yeah, and then
I think
the suspension is going to be the same. Suspension and all that stuff is going to be the same as a current bike. Forks, shock, that kind of stuff. Pivots on the frame. The wheels will need the same kind of maintenance, but it is clean. It depends on whether they have cooling systems on them as well. If they have cooling systems, all of a sudden, they shouldn't leak, but if for some reason it gets hot, it could spill. But you're not dealing with gas, but even they might have oil in the transmission, and so you might have to change the oil if there is a transmission or some some gear drives inside there that need. But if they're all sealed up, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah. Okay, so I think Mitch Orb is very active in the chat. Let's see what he say.
He says drivetrain suspension maintenance is far different from motor maintenance. No, it's not. No, it's not. I see way too many people that think that it's. Yeah, you're not going to have an air filter to clean. That's nice. Probably not going to have to change the motor oil as much. But yeah, you need to keep an eye on your all your stuff, all the things.
Right, and especially like if the battery starts going bad, or if you need to with time as the battery starts to expand. But I don't know.
Yeah, okay, what do we have next?
Yeah. So Mr. Orb is saying the beers are flowing as well. So
at his house.
Yeah, I'm guessing at his house. So this is a question that came from the Beta 200 review. This is Manolus Weck. Wish I can have it,
what
but can't.
That again, Matt. Name one more time.
Manolus Weck.
Manolus Weck. Okay.
Yeah. So they are wondering, wish I can have it, but I can't afford it. Is there any tip for the KTM 200 to have a 125-ish power delivery? I can't find any vid on your channel.
I don't have a real test on that, but I will tell you that the way that I got mine to the characteristic that I got out of mine that I liked was I kept a whole bunch of torque, and then I got it to be able to torque down, and then if you kind of pump the clutch and stuff, I got it to rev really good. And so this was a combination of using a pipe and muffler that was different than stock, and playing around a lot with the power valve adjustment. And I think that I raised the transfer ports just a little bit. And I don't remember exactly what I did. I played around with it for a long time, but the pipe and muffler combination may not be readily available. What I have. So yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't just save up your money and buy a Beta. Now the KTM can be made to, what would I do? I would probably try, even with the stock pipe, maybe if you took 5 millimeters out of the kind of the header section, shorten the pipe up a little bit. It might do something like this, but yeah, it was I think the Beta has a lighter flywheel too. It acts like that as well. And the KTM has kind of a heavier flywheel. And I did switch over on the one that ran really good. The one that ran really good. I switched over to a different ignition, and it wasn't the motocross ignition. It was actually an ignition that generated a little more power. And I think it had a lighter flywheel as well. So.
Cool. So I have a follow-up question. Do you know if the 200 is ever going to come back for KTM, or are they going to kind of stick to the 150 platform that they have right now?
I doubt it. I don't think it's coming back. Mm-hmm. I think they're pretty happy with their 150, 125, 150 kind of platform in that same motor. And they have right now the 300 is lighter than my 200 on the scale. So what do you right. what do you want? It doesn't feel that way when you're riding it for sure. Uh-huh. But like a 250, I mean, if you really needed a 200, you'd always maybe debore a 250 or something, or just buy the 250 and yeah, but it'll never, I like the 200 was like I don't know. It's like the Beta. The Beta is a really good one. That's mm-hmm. the answer right now.
All right, cool. So I'm going to say his name how you do, Curly Stoker.
Yep.
Did you guys see my question in the Instagram stuff? Differences and pros and cons of steering dampener versus stabilizer. Considering the Scott, but I kind of like the idea of how that Showa is small and tucked in. Put if the way behind the front number plate. Thoughts?
Wait a minute. I can see this question too, so I'm gonna look at it here. What if put way behind the front number plate? I don't understand what you mean by put. So the Scots. So a steering damper typically has to be mounted on top of the steering stem. In other words, so it's got it because it usually has some sort of a vane or a device, unless it's one of those hydraulic damper ones like the Honda, the HP, whatever, Honda Progressive HP. I don't remember what it was called. It was even called a steering damper. It was called a steering damper. There's another term. But anyways, so the Honda is a piston moving kind of on a shaft sort of thing, more like a road racing steering damper. And it's designed to do something a little bit different than what the Scots is. The Scots, in my opinion, is the best. It's one of the original ones. It's the first one that had free back to center, which is really huge for off-road. and it's highly adjustable. So you can kind of turn it into whatever you want. It can be mounted kind of below the bars or above the bars, or on top of the triple clamp. Either way. And I've actually seen them mounted. Now that we talk about it, I remember there was a time when somebody was mounting them on a plate, and they had a man. Where was that at? It was kind of interesting, but you just want to, they have kits for almost every bike. You can mount it on the bike. They're just simple and awesome. And there's other brands. GPR makes one that is a little bit different. It just valves all the time. Promo Billet has one that, there's Olin's has a version of the Scots, that's different. I haven't played with it too much, so I don't know a ton about how all these, I know how some of them work, and I don't favor them. But steering damper versus stabilizer. So HP Honda Progressive. Like I just remember seeing the sticker on there, and I can't tell. I don't know if it's called a damper or a stabilizer.
I remember you and Johnny talked about it when he was in studio a few weeks ago, and
right.
I can't remember the name of it. I know you guys brought it up then.
So
you go a few episodes back.
A Scots is a stabilizer. They call it a stabilizer. I don't know. Stabilizer, damper, same thing. And it's funny because I was thinking about this the other day when I was riding, because I know a lot of people, they crank them up in the sand. They take the damper and they like, because the bike wanders around in the sand and the handlebars move. And so they crank the damper up. And before I knew as much as I know now about like riding, you don't want that. You really don't want that to happen a little bit, because that wandering in the handlebars is kind of telling you how the bike's, it's showing you how the bike's reacting, so you can react. And my Scots are set up so that the bike still wanders around, the steering still wanders around in the sand a bit. Mine is set up so that the damper kind of counteracts the high speed hit. So if wandering in sand, it hits a rock and tries to go wham and off to the side. Well, the Scots dampens it, and it doesn't do that. And this is the one thing that I noticed. Like my 300 right now does not have a damper on it. And I was riding it the other day, and I hit something and it went wham. And I'm like, wow, like that really kicked a long ways. And I'm like, oh, dumbass, you don't have a damper on this thing yet. So, that's on my list. But a lot of guys will crank it in the sand and stuff. And you think about this, that it since it's free back to center, if it gets pushed, it doesn't want to come out of line, but then you're getting this false sense of kind of how the bike's reacting, because the damper's doing a lot of work. And if it does, it will, because of this, prevent head shake. But head shake is kind of sort of a thing of the past. And that's what back when I started running a Scott steering stabilizer, head shake was a big problem on a lot of these bikes. And you could use this as a tool to kind of, damp it down and make that go away. And I did that on occasion, but then I'd realize that when I went into the rocks, I'd want to turn that thing right back off. And that's why we started putting those little plastic, things on the knob, so it was so much easier to see. So you could do a real quick half turn on the damper if your bike was all unstable. And it was really a problem on the Hondas back in the day. I was racing a KTM, which was moderately stable, so it wasn't a big deal. But the Showa, for motocross stuff, I really like the way that the Honda damper works. And like one of the best mods I ever did to a Yamaha once was to put the Honda steering damper on the Yamaha. It required a different triple clamp. I think Ride Engineering makes a kit that mounts that stuff up, and it's a really good way to do stuff. But that's for motocross, and that's to help hold the bike down in turns, especially like bowl turns where the bike kind of wants to stand back up. You actually really can feel it when you have a well set up damper. But the stock ones were never aggressive enough for me, and so I actually would get those things revalved, and it really helped. And Pro Circuit was able to revalve one of those little dampers and make it work really well. So that's the differences. That's what I know.
So I was going through some of the older content, and I found a video about the oil change in the Scott's dampener.
Right.
what's like the service interval for that? And then can you tell a difference in the I'm going to guess you can tell a difference in the dampening if you go too long without changing the oil.
Service interval is like nearly never.
Okay.
Almost never. But you can kind of feel when they start getting a little bit soft. But I've had them on bikes for 5 and 6 years, and they haven't, they're not leaking, and they still, the best thing to do is you put the bike up on the stand, and you take it and you take the handlebars, you put it all the way to one steering lock, and you slam the handlebar on the other side, and you listen to it and does it go, and does it still dampen? And if it does, if you can take the bars and turn them really quick and you can feel it dampen, it's still doing its work. And maybe you might have to add a click or two, but I haven't. I'm probably really bad at doing it, but it's easy to do if you want to do it yourself, and you can send it back to them and they'll do it real quick.
Mm-hmm. And then you mentioned changing the valving. Was that just in the Honda one, or do you change the valving in the Scots as well?
Yeah, the Scots one, you change the valving with a clicker. With the knob, the high speed adjustment, the low speed adjustment. There's adjustments on the side where you can adjust the sweep, like how far it dampens for. So it dampens away from center. And then when you're doing a really tight turn, like let's say you're going to really tight turn around a tree, or you want to, whatever, at the very end, it gets free, because at that point you need a certain amount of, control, where you don't want any dampening when you've got the bike. You're not going very fast when you're doing this. If your bars are turned that far, you're, kind of trying to pick around some rocks or around a tree or something like that. You don't want damping over there at that point.
Right. Cool.
So yeah, there's a test on dirt bike tests. I think George just popped that thing up and showed, we have a full test on that thing, and it's pretty informative. I did that a long time ago.
Yeah. That video I found from
says the KTM 200 needs a pipe change, flywheel weight, torque plate, and power valve adjustment. I don't know if it needs that. You can do all that, but you're literally trying to, you're just trying to find that it's tuning. It's customizable. There's lots of stuff. I actually, the stock pipe on the KTM 200 is actually pretty darn good. I think when I was doing a lot of testing with FMF on that a long time ago, it was really hard for them to beat the stock pipe. And then they had to kind of pick a direction, and that's why I said I had some of the test pipes, and that's why you might not be able to get the one that I have.
Okay, so we got some questions in from YouTube. Two Wheels is asking, any experience riding a Shirko 300 4-stroke? Would love to hear how it compares to the KTM 350.
Not recently. Yeah, Shirko is another company that didn't really. They're selling everything they're bringing in, and they didn't really have the need to have us test anything. So, it's getting difficult to. It's so much easier to just let an Instafluencer go and ride it and take a couple hot pictures and, get a whole bunch of likes, and then nobody knows. But I can't tell you about that bike because I don't know. The old Shirkos that I rode had a lot of promise. It was early days of fuel injection, and but they were at the time, especially their 300 4-stroke, seemed like it had a ton of promise. And I don't know where it's at now, and can't tell you much about it.
Cool. And then Robert Lampart asks two questions: Vortex ECU or Tokyo Mods ECU? And then DynoJet or FMF? What's the best?
Vortex ECU or Tokyo Mods ECU?
For mapping.
What bike are we talking about? Which bike are we putting this on?
He's still in the chat, so hopefully he'll put it in. But he's asking for mapping purposes. Like
I said, I'm so picky about the ECU tuning and all this stuff. Unless I can get in there and tune it myself. In other words, unless I have the ability to go in there and do some tuning and adjustments, I'd rather start with a stock ECU and then piggyback like a JD tuner on it and just work on the fueling. And that's changed now on the newer bikes because of the O2 sensor and the closed loop system. So you make an adjustment and the bike's going to say, wait a minute, I'm sniffing it's too rich, and it might make an adjustment back at you. So on the newer bikes, this is the main reason you're going to need to go to an ECU on an emissions compliant bike. But there's all kinds of guys that'll tune your ECU. They can reflash a stock one. There's new ECU companies coming out. But it's really like, what are you trying to get? Like, what do you want at that point? What do you want out of your bike? What are you trying to like? What do you want? If you just want a different colored ECU, I'm starting a company next week. Marco, you're in on this. You better wake up. He's over in Felicia. That's Fabio's sister.
Oh,
it's the massage
chair.
Have I told?
Yeah.
Have I told you about this thing? He's passed out in it right now, but it's okay because we're starting a company. We're going to you send us your ECU. We're going to paint it a fancy color, like hot pink. I think will be our first color, and we'll spray paint it. Maybe we'll have Dylan. Maybe Dylan can paint on it a little bit or something like that. We'll put a vehicle wrap on it too. It's going to be super sweet. But you send us our ECU, and we'll customize it. We'll put a tune on it, like a tune like you won't believe. And then the next thing you know, you plug it back in your bike, and your ECU looks hot, and your bike's going to probably run better. So kind of like the stickers we put the forks on the test bike that made them work better. But,
right. So he did add in, it was a CRF 450X.
Okay. If I had a CRF 450X, God, would I want to? I don't know if I'd want to change the. Boy, I think they run okay. I'm personally think those bikes. If I would put a JD tuner on that thing, and play around with fueling based on whatever else you're doing to it. I don't know what. This is where I wish Big John was here, because I don't know what we did to Big John's bike. He might have one on there. I know I have one in the garage. I had one because I had to switch the wires because the L and the X had different wires on it, and we were able to get really good results with just that. The other things, I know I've ridden the factory race bike that Johnny Campbell had, and it basically had an X. No, it had an RECU on it, but they had to do so much stuff to get that to work. And that bike also had, like, by the way, an R head and all this other stuff. They were going for incredible, massive horsepower, which most people don't need. And it was strung in a place where most people would never use it or don't ride. So maybe talk to, if you really want that level, talk to Johnny Campbell Racing. Talk to JCR Speed Shop. They might know a lot more about that particular setup. But man, I was really happy with how we got our X to run. Again, we have a long-term update on dirt bike tests that'll tell you. But if you really want your ECU tuned, send me an email, and we'll get that ECU tuned up in a like slightly different way. It's going to cost a lot though. How much would it cost to paint an ECU and tune it up, like with some wraps? It's a lot. Yeah, that's twice as much as it's going to cost for anybody else to do it, but we'll do it.
So he did add in, this is actually for a snow bike. So he's looking for more horsepower.
Okay, you need the max amount of horsepower. You need a blower and nitrous and a Husaberg 570 motor. You should just buy a Husaberg 570, throw the Honda away and get a Husaberg 570, and it almost might have enough power for a snow bike.
Sweet. He loves it. So speaking of 570s, I think it's time for a commercial break, and then we'll come back with Rooster Endo.
Oh, did somebody put a Husaberg 570 in Rooster Endo?
There may or may not be one.
I didn't look at the pictures yet, but I'll go look at that email while we're at commercial break. Yeah. Marco just stepped out of Felicia, the massage chair. He's ripe to come in there and help me with Rooster Endo. So we'll see you right after the break.
What's up, Moto Buddies? Mike here from Taco Moto Co. What is the Taco Touch? It's the best service in the industry. Virtually 24/7 tech support via email or text, and it's like having a dirt bike doctor on call every day of the year, helping you fix your bike or recommend parts or setups for you. If you've ever received an order from us, you know that the Taco Touch extends to our fulfillment, and our orders come with the coolest stickers that you've ever had, buying parts from anybody before, and a handful of root beer barrel candies. All of our Taco Moto Co. branded components come with a no questions asked lifetime warranty, and we'll even extend out the warranty of other manufacturers, OEM, and aftermarket parts where we can, sometimes for life. We test and tune endlessly and exhaustively and obsessively. We're trying to destroy everything that we can before you get your hands on it to look for weaknesses and to improve it, or to make recommendations to the manufacturer. And if it's something that doesn't meet grade, then we don't offer it on the store. Everything that we carry is something that we have personally used, tested, and ridden and raced, and knows meets the high Taco Touch demanding standard. Go out and get some adventure.
There's delay.
All right, and we're back with some Rooster Endo. So, Jimmy, who's that you have in the camera with you?
This is Marco Henriksen, one of my buddies from way back. This is the guy that got me into. Let's see. I think I was snowboarding a little bit before I met you, but mountain boarding, snow scoot. I think you helped dragging me to the dunes. Got me to dooning, right?
Tuning.
Yep. What else did we do? We've done lots of stupid stuff. So Marco's up here in the mountains, mountain man. That's why we're at a cabin heating by a fire stove here. Marco's been on
delay.
Yeah, don't worry about the delay. You just worry about that thing up there. And he was on the show a while back with Chris Barrett. What show was it? Probably about show 50. Was it 50s, 30s, something like that? I don't know.
We talked about so much stuff.
Yeah, we answered lots of questions. So Marco's going to be a good addition to Rooster Endo. We have the email up, Matt, so we can look at the bike. So let's run with whatever the first one is.
Okay, so the first one's going to be Jeremy Barrialt. Getting the picture up.
Jeremy what? Screw up his name.
Jeremy Barrialt. It is a
Burial.
There we go. It is a 2022 EXC 500 D-Smog Vortex P3 exhaust shield, PMB front end cap, molecule skid, and more.
No, we're working on it. Hold on, we're gonna.
He submitted a snow bike.
Okay, yeah, we're working on it. I'm trying to push buttons and it's not
I'm looking at a double O.
Oh wait. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna go backwards. I think it's gonna.
There you
go. Jeremy
Rich kid.
Oh, what? You have to be rich to have a snow bike?
Well, so I've heard.
It's a $7,000 thing that sticks on the back of your motorcycle.
He had to sell one of his handguards just to get to buy gas to ride it. Something like that. I don't know what.
Oh man, yeah.
Where'd that thing go?
And where's the handguard?
Must have broke or something.
Oh yeah. What's the list? Keep running.
It's a nice bike.
Okay. So I'll read it again. So 2022 EXC 500, desmogged, Vortex ECU, I'm guessing, P3 exhaust shield, PMB front end cap, molecule skid plate, and then he just says more.
And more. Where's the handguard?
And he's still got the blinkers on. That thing's awesome. We want to ride that.
I've never tried this before on my dual sport bikes. You know how in your car when you're like working around the dash and you know when you touch the hazard thing, the blinkers come on. Like that would be cool if you had a snow bike, so you could have the blinkers running the whole time. Yeah, you wouldn't want to signal a turn, but you would want to.
Well, it is an EXC, so
yeah,
that's awesome. I love my favorite bike of the day so far.
Oh, it is. Well, it's because it's the first. It's the first. To ride that. Is that the new front track? Is that the good?
That's a good POW track there. Looks to be like a long track. What's the length of that track? Did he say?
He doesn't mention the length of that track.
Yeah, I mean that looks like
that almost looks like a.
This is a big problem. big problem with our submissions is we don't get enough information a lot of times. I'm going to tell you, I'm glad you focused on the handguard because I would have missed it. Because you know what I focused in on? You know how long it would take me to go through a tank of gas on that bike right now? If we took it out, well, we'd have to go way up. We
could do it.
We could go, but you wouldn't want to go. The condition, snow biking is so condition
I can tell that's got a big ski on the front and it's got a big track on the back. That guy rides powder on that thing.
He doesn't get more than 30.
That's not a moto.
He doesn't get more than 30 meters from his house because he'd run out of gas. You need a big tank.
You get your wife can carry gas for you.
He needs a blower on it. He needs a blower.
They put tanks on the back pad.
Yeah. On the pad, they put gas tanks. He needs a big tank. He needs a blower, a turbo, and nitrous in order to make that thing go. I do like it.
I love it.
You love it.
I love it. I'd love to have that bike.
Yeah.
I'd love to ride his bike.
I'd like to have his bike.
Best high performance vehicle's a borrowed one, right?
On the first big powder day. Actually, that would have been fun to ride when I got stuck here last time.
Right. They'll go.
We'll go. If he brings it here, it might roost, but right now it's
supposed to snow this week.
Is it no this much?
Maybe.
0.3 inches. Roost or endo?
I say roost hard.
Roost?
That's nothing but roost. That's it. Go over the bars.
Hey,
you go over the bars on that, it's going to run you over. Okay. You're going to hate it.
Is it our first? Is it our first snow bike submission?
No, we've gotten 2 or 3 snow bikes before, and they typically go on the endo scale. Yeah, we've gotten snow bikes before.
Okay, he's the first one that roosts.
Yeah,
just because he has a lot of stuff to do.
Roost for sure.
You know that tank that you picked up for me, Matt?
Yeah, what about it?
Matt, he could use it.
Yeah, he definitely could use it.
Right.
So
did I give you the money? Did I give you the money for that?
Yeah, you gave me the money.
We're all set. We're all square. Everybody's good.
Yeah.
I have a tank you can borrow.
Okay.
But
I have one of those tanks in my back shed. I've never used it.
Jimmy, do you have much experience with the snow bikes?
No. Not in the last 5 years.
Okay.
But I did beforehand.
I have like 1 day on them, and I spent the whole day trying to figure out how to ride them because I was trying to ride it like a dirt bike, and you can't ride those like a dirt bike. You ride them almost more like I was actually finally getting it to steer by doing like MotoGP turns. Were
you riding it in good powder? Were you riding it in powder?
Yeah, towards the end. Yeah. At first, not so much, but then
horrible.
Oh yeah, if it's not powder, it's not fun.
If you're riding on a Groom Trail hard pack, just throw it away. Don't even go.
Yeah.
You just want to ride. You just want to rip fresh powder. It's all one of those things.
That was my experience.
It's just like going surfing. If it's not 6 foot and glassy and 70-degree water, don't bother going.
Yeah. I agree. That was my experience.
They like good conditions, but they do make different tracks, different front skis for different conditions. So
yeah.
You can have a quiver of tracks and front skis and rich kids. I don't even know one person that has one here in Mammoth. Not one person.
Okay, what's next?
And there's a bunch of snowmobiles.
This is Tanner Purdue.
Okay.
I'm getting the picture up right now for the chat, and then I'll read off the description. So it's a 2021 KTM 300 XCW TPI. Enduro engineering skid plate, brake tip, rear disc guard, and hand guards. P3 pipe guard, TPS guard, Renthal chain and sprockets, and Kenda tires.
Wait a minute. I like the Kenda tires. I know I'm a fan of those. My buddy just bought a set of the Trackmasters. He's all excited to put them on.
It's like a really nice bike.
That's a nice bike, but
that Enduro engineering's got a metal skid plate. I like that. I bought a plastic one for my bike, but I like the metal.
I don't like metal. I like plastic. The metal makes a lot of noise.
Wait, hold on. He's got a seat concept seat, and he didn't mention it.
Well, that is nice.
And he also said he had P3 carbon fiber pipe protector, and I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing it either.
This is fake news, false advertising. Fake.
Yeah.
What graphic kit is that?
I don't even see. You know what?
He didn't even mention the handguards. He didn't even mention the handguards.
I don't see the skid plate on it. Okay, so I cannot see the skid plate on this. And what was the other thing that he talked about that he had?
So he didn't mention the hand guards that are on the bike.
It's not a stock.
He has the Kenna graphics. That's a stock tank.
It is?
Yeah, that's a stock tank.
Pipe guard?
Yeah, no pipe guard. He doesn't have a front disc guard. It's like, what's so funny is people will not show me this side of the bike because they have a disc guard on it. Those big metal things.
Oh yeah,
Marco doesn't know.
I don't
about
have
this.
one of those. I don't buy them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. by the way,
it looks like a really nice bike to me.
That's a great bike. Yeah. That's a great starting platform. He's done the right mods to it. That thing roosts for sure.
I would take the kickstand off. I'm not a big fan of kickstand.
You should take it off and put a Trail Tech one on there.
Yeah.
Trail Tech, sponsor of the show, right?
Yep. They are.
He's got
the sponsor of the class of the school, aren't they?
Correct. They help out the school.
Back tires
help out our tours. We follow everybody with the Voyager Pro and buddy tracking. It looks like an Ibex.
He's got a nice garage too and a ton of gas. There's like gas in the back. Is that gas?
Yeah, it looks like gas cans.
Ready to ride. Guy to ride with. And mountain bike tires over there. What are these?
Yeah, it looks like mountain bike tires.
Good.
So where are we at with this thing? I'm getting mixed signals. Roosting or
roost.
Okay, I'm going to put it towards the center of the roost side, though. He left out some things.
Because there was false advertising.
Yeah, so that does affect it. The
rating,
the fact that he detailed it out, that thing looked really nice. That looks really nice. Jeez, what's it?
Okay. So moving on. So we're going to. I need to get this picture all set up, and then I'll tell the chat what's all. Okay. So this is from Lucas Corey. It's a 2021 500 EXCF PVC PCV5 with Taco maps, FMF titanium 4.1, exhaust, KTM power part seat, KTM LED headlight, bulletproof designs, radiator guards, moto-minded dash, desmogged, Acerby's hand guards, Acerby's swing arm cover, plastics, Takamoto tail light setup, Acerby's 3.1 gallon tank. Might be forgetting something, but that's it for the most part.
Oh, he's forgetting something.
Yeah,
I can see more. He has
the Red Bull GoPro.
He has a stand with his name on it. And if you're looking at the garage, he's Polish. He's got Polska up there on the top. Look at that. Got a drill press back there. Look at that. He's got the kid. There's a mini bike. There's a little mini bike in the back of some sort.
He's got his kickstand down.
He's got a level. He's got a level over on the side. There's like some. He
does have a nice blower.
Some light. Yeah, he's got a blower over there.
A couple of chase lounges.
He's got the we're looking at the ATC muffler here on the side. He's got his ATC that's sitting there. And a lot of
I don't see a Peloton, so I like this guy.
Oh, there's no Peloton in the garage?
Well, he's got a fast. He's
not clogging up his garage with a Peloton?
Desert?
That sounds horrible.
Does he have a gimbal mount for that GoPro?
Do we strike a nerve there? With the Peloton in the garage getting in the way of all the motorcycles?
He's a true rider. He claimed his garage. He doesn't have to give half to his wife like me. I like this guy.
I'm looking. We're scrolling around on the photo right now. We're looking for We're looking for the to make sure there's not a Peloton in the garage because it could severely affect it. He's got is that a fan? Is that a heater fan?
I wonder if he races this bike or is that a?
He's got a number on it.
That's a nice
race
bike.
number.
These guys all have really nice bikes.
He has a BMW. He has a BMW clock on the wall. Look at that. And a nice rack of
that bike's way nicer than my bike, so I would have to say that's Roost for sure. I mean,
I don't know. It doesn't have.
Yeah.
George says it ends because it doesn't have the emoji sticker.
Hey, his mini bike has Supermoto tires on it. We're doing a deep dive in this photo, Matt. You have no idea.
Is that an 07?
Yeah.
No. I'm starting to think it might have been a mistake to email them to you.
Look, he's got the welding mat. He's got a welder in there someplace.
We got a garage full of bikes here too, so we're liking these bikes.
Yeah.
He took his.
Well, we got to get back to his bike, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's got to go to the bike.
He has
swing arm covers.
Hey, he's got a tidy tail. Did he say tidy tail?
Yeah, he said Takamoto tail light.
Oh, he said Takamoto tidy tail. He did.
Yeah.
And he said a Kirby's gas
He
tank.
has mirrors. Look at
Yep.
it from here.
Hammerhead
Kirby's
shifter. Did you say
plastics.
hammerhead shifter?
That is the hammerhead.
He says
You say hammerhead shifter?
might be. I think that's going to get looped in with might be forgetting something.
What kind of radiator guards did he have?
KTM.
It was bulletproof designs.
Bulletproof.
Oh, he did.
I had those.
Yeah.
What are those
Okay,
big
he
old
got-
mirror things. Are these mirrors that are those big old weird?
They're hanging down. He's got double take mirrors hanging low.
No.
They're low. They're
He's
low.
going over the bars for sure.
There's-
If you listen to those mirrors,
Dude, if those
Look
mirrors
into
are there, you're gonna if that mirror is in that position down there and you go around a turn, you're like moto style and you hit something and it goes up, you're gonna have a nice little shiner right on top.
as
of
you
your knee.
go over your bars for sure. You look into that mirror right there, you're going down.
Okay, Matt.
No, that's where it would lose it for me.
the mirrors just
Rooster
lost.
end up here.
I'm endoing this.
You're
thing.
endoing it,
If you ride with your kick,
and you don't put your kickstand down on
He's
the.
got numbers and mirrors.
He's got his name on the stand
In a
though.
track, you're not even allowed to put your kickstand.
Did he say what kind of tires he had? Because they're brand new.
They look great.
Hold on, let me check here.
They look like Trailbergs.
They look like nice.
I do not see the tires.
Chain.
Tires
Dude,
not mentioned.
Oh boy,
Is that an aftermarket chain? Gold anodized?
no. I don't know what it is. It
doesn't look
looks stock. No,
So
it looks stock.
I'm wondering if it's also set up for like supermoto racing, and that would explain like the mirrors and stuff.
No, he'd have.
No, maybe he's just
Like he
when he's
can
just
switch-
cruising around the streets. When he's cruising around the streets of where is he from? Did you say where he's from? We don't know.
No, but you said Poland, and that would
Polska.
kind of make sense because his
sport.
name had his name had a K that I wasn't familiar with.
Has characters in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a.
Legally, you do have to have.
Do you think? Okay, this is the thing on the stand. Look at the stand. Is that a bottle?
That is a tall stand.
Is that a bottle? Is that like a beer bottle or a booze bottle and a wrench? A booze and a wrench?
Here, let me.
Cholula.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Cholula? You're gonna zoom it in on the chat.
I'm enhancing for the chat.
No, that's just a cutout. That's
Hey,
a cutout on the other side.
If you think we don't take Rooster Endo serious, this is your calling card. Like you're gonna get judged on this show. I mean, like in a good way. You're hopefully you'll learn something from this.
Yeah.
He's got a nice bike.
Okay. So
He must be
I'm
really
gonna
short if he ordered that seat. That's a low. That's a small.
No, it's a standard seat, I think.
It's a shorty.
It's KTM Power Parts seat.
So
Yeah, it's a Power Parts seat.
Yeah, he said.
Is that on the
PowerPoint.
list?
Yes,
Okay, you got it.
is. It is. So what are we thinking? Rooster Endo.
Oh boy,
God, that thing Roos was showing.
Roos?
I mean, come on, right?
You were endoing it a minute ago.
Well, I didn't realize you probably legally
Okay,
has
the bike Roos.
Yeah, for sure.
It definitely Roos. Yeah.
Roos, for
Okay.
There's pride of ownership in this.
And I think 109's maybe his area code or something, and he wanted to be proud of that, or maybe race it in a. You could race that. You'd race that.
I wouldn't race it. I'd just go ride
You
it.
should race it.
I put a long timber sled on it.
Ooh.
Okay, so this
Okay,
one is going to
not
take
saying
a while
a
to
word.
get through. So let me get up the picture.
Is that
Okay.
What? That E4?
Picture is up. So this is a 2002 YZ250 WR. Rare model
we've gone
as it's
order
approved.
photos here. So
Yeah.
Same color.
okay, yeah.
So rare
Okay.
model. So this is a Bryce
2002.
Stauber, 2020,
Right.
2002 YZ250 WR. Rare model as it's approved for road legal here in NSW Australia, which we need to ride in the bush. Pro Circuit expansion chamber, Pro Circuit 304 shorty silencer, Apex head with XC domes, JD jetting kit, Panthera electric start, AS3 Van Hill Super Glide clutch cable, OLM 10-liter tank, braced radiators, 18-inch rear, Shinko gummy front and rear, a Cherby skid plate clutch, water pump guard, and hand guards, Fastways kickstand, 270mm front disc upgrade with no front disc guard, Works connection rear caliber guard, stock plastic rear disc guard, custom homemade LED headlight, Polysport frame guards, has never beaten a Husaberg 570 out of respect, used to ride and race enduro.
Hey, so we're doing a deep dive. So the best, like right away, I zoomed in and I saw the E-Start. So he's on the right path. I mean, in all these mods, and who'd you think it belonged to?
I thought it was Double O Zabo.
Zabo.
Yeah, Double O.
Thought it was Double O Zabo bike, but no,
Zabo
is a Honda guy.
Yep. Well, he got the red.
Yeah, he's kind of made it red. This thing, and considering it started out as a WR, and I know they have like Australia's kind of like California in a lot of ways, but there's one thing I'm gonna pick on is he needs to do the front brake hose mod, because if you look at the front brake line on this, it runs all the way down and it has to go all the way in front of the fork leg and underneath the fork leg and then back over the top, and it makes for a really long brake cable. And also it's really hard to bleed these because it has this big loop. It's not a thing. There's a modification that he can do that will simplify that. And that's the only thing I'm seeing. This is almost like a KTM 300, but it's a Yamaha and it's red and white. So
got a nice big tank.
You wondered why he made a Yamaha look like a Honda.
No, I just didn't look close enough. I should have worn my glasses.
The funny thing, in other countries, when we were getting blue YZs, everybody else was getting red and white YZs. Oh. So even when we were getting purple YZs and pink YZs, the rest of the world was getting red and white YZs. So this is their corporate colors.
You sure kept it nice.
Yeah.
No scratches on the swing arm.
Yeah. It's looking good. That's a really nice bike, Matt. You should take note, by the way.
I like how he's running the black stock pipe.
Yeah,
it's a strong pipe.
Yeah, you should.
You would think he'd have a.
He's spray painted black, so he didn't have to. They have a lot of dirt there in Australia. He's got a couple dogs in the picture, and they're not chewing on his tire, which is good. Yeah. That bike definitely roosts.
It roosts pretty hard. I like how clean it is.
Yeah,
he says he got a gripper seat. He's even got the gripper seat though.
But he's even got a the front fender on that thing is a modern front fender, and the fact he made his own LED headlight, that thing's pretty sweet. That's a really nice ride.
So Bryce is in the chat.
That's the Yamaha that Yamaha should be building. I think. Yeah.
So he's actually in the chat, and
especially the Electro part.
So Bryce is in the chat, and he's saying it was actually originally blue.
Oh, it was blue,
and he likes the idea for the front brake.
Yeah, there's a like Galfer. Galfer actually makes the shorter hose and then the little clamp that actually bolts onto the fork guard and everything. But yeah, that's a sweet thing. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Nice bike.
Bryce. Yeah, that's a sweet bike, Bryce. Glad you joined in, man.
That's a keeper.
Yeah.
That's a keeper. That's actually.
I'm going to put this.
That's funny. So, what year?
Don't loan that to your buddy.
Yeah. What year is that thing, Matt?
It's 2002.
Yeah, because it's an old steel frame. Yeah. So that's a
kept bike.
I mean, that bike looks like new. Yeah.
That bike looks like it hasn't been roosted. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm going to put it pretty high up on the roost here.
Good.
Yeah, it's kind of Blue Crew. We just.
That's cool. He came clean about the color.
Yeah,
like if he would have let us think.
We appeased our sponsors, right?
Right. Totally not biased. Okay, so I intentionally saved this one for last, Jimmy, because I wanted to see how you would react to this one.
The Mustang.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
That's right. I know.
Charlie McCullen, a 2010 Husaberg FU 570, 31.8 hours, 524
did you
miles.
Say FU? Hey, Matt, did you say FU? Did you say FU 5?
No, I mean, I normally say that after the show, but...
Oh.
No, so...
okay, keep going.
So yeah, FU 570, 31.8 hours, 524 miles, BPR/Scott stub mount, Fastway pegs, Sycra handguards, Husaberg rear disc guard, Euromap. You made fun of me last time I said this company. Akrapovic muffler, Maxxis Desert IT tires, Aprakovic, Maxxis Desert IT tires, and a Shirai battery.
Oh, I like those tires.
Is it for sale?
It doesn't mention it being for sale.
He didn't put the price in there when he sent this to us. He wasn't trying to sell it to us, was he?
No, he was not.
No, he's not trying to sell it. Well,
Darn it.
yeah, I'm not really sure about this then,
Wait,
because generally, did I tell you about another one?
Oh yeah, I know
Did
about
I mention this?
Yeah, you got 3
You
now.
heard about this?
Yeah,
Yeah, I got another one. It's close to being in transit. So, you know how you know when somebody has a problem? Like they kind of they don't admit it. You know, they kind of like this guy. Like that's a sportsmobile, isn't it? Thing.
This guy's got
He's got a big ass shop.
He's got a burn rubber
And he's got
shop.
that car's probably what's that car in the back? You know what kind of car
That's
that
a
is?
67 fastback.
A 67
something fastback.
Yeah, but its tires are flat, and it's halfway in between the door of the shop, so you can't close the door to the shop, and the tires are flat. So that wasn't staged. But this bike, I think this bike with those low hours, which is really a shame, because if you've only experienced the Husaberg 570 power for 31 hours, you've probably never got past a quarter throttle because you're not experienced.
You didn't break it in yet.
Well,
yeah. Well,
also looking at how fresh those rims are, I'm going to guess he might all 31 of those hours might be on a snow bike.
No, it's not. Yeah, maybe it's riding the snow, but he has changed the tires, but they're not all scratched up like they.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The rims are really clean.
I'm looking at that thing that's hanging out of the side panel. It looks like is that a battery charger cable?
Here, let me enhance.
A battery tender cable?
Because I can't really
see. That's a battery tender cable. Yeah, that's not a good thing, because if you don't love your Berg enough to ride it enough to keep the battery charged, even with a Ferrari battery,
you should sell it.
You should sell it to me. So I expect the price, within the next 3 minutes of us talking about this, to really help with my determination. The muffler helps though. That's a good muffler on that thing. This is not the street legal one. What year? Did you say what year?
2010.
And yeah, I could see adding that to my fleet. If it came around.
That's injected.
I don't really. Have you ever ridden one of my Husabergs?
Oh
no.
You wouldn't let me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you have to have a certain level of certifications to get nice bike. He doesn't. It's kind of like the snow bike too. He doesn't have the extra tank on the back, and that can be a real deficit when you're dealing with that much horsepower.
Are you sure he doesn't have the extra tank?
It looks like stock. It looks like stock.
Oh, so that light gray plastic piece isn't an extra tank there?
No, that's the stock subframe.
Okay.
You can actually modify the stock subframe into a fuel tank, but it takes a little bit of work, and it's kind of dangerous. It's hollow, and it may leak, but I've seen guys do it before.
I thought you had a bike that
and I like this bike, but I'm afraid it hasn't been Husaberged enough.
Is it nice then?
Yeah.
For 10 years.
We need to balance out that scale, because it's kind of Husaberg heavy at the way top end.
Yeah.
If you look at look on the thing, see way out here, like way out there. You know what that is? That's my Husaberg 570.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen yours.
Yeah, that one way out there.
Oh, and then we got George's Nation, like way down here too.
Well, yeah, that has 3 wheels.
Right.
So we got to be kind of.
Is this thing endoing because it's a little too clean for a 570?
I would say let's just, because it's a Husaberg and because it's a 570. Have we had? That's another
Husaberg.
Put the
price.
By the way, that's another Husaberg down here on the thing. But that's like there's a 450. That's a really clean one. Just it didn't put the price. It'd be costly. What do you think, Matt? Where do you stand on this?
We should put it in the middle, I think, just because our our roof side is a little on the thick side.
Oh, so you're going to endo Husaberg 570?
No, I'm going to put it in the middle. It's nice and neutral.
Oh, perfect.
Also,
perfect.
with how clean those rims are, I don't trust it. And there's a skid plate that was never mentioned.
Okay.
So I'm going to put it nice and neutral.
Okay. Put it in. You know, that's such a waffle on the judgment there. I was going to throw an endo at it.
I just put that picture right on the refrigerator.
Oh,
put it right in the garage. Yeah.
Put it on the refrigerator, and then write the price on it. I don't have any money. I might have just bought a bike today.
ISO.
I might have just bought another bike today. So
same color.
Cool.
It's the same color. It is the same color. Yeah. So we got deals working out. So, wait a minute. Hold on. And Bryce says the only reason that the bike is so clean because he just finished the project. That's Bryce in Australia. So that's understandable, Bryce.
Good answer.
Unlike that Husaberg with 31 hours and nice clean rims, but all good. Okay, so now that's it. That's all we have tonight.
Yeah, that's it for the Rooster Endo. Who do you think deserves the Moto gift certificate?
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of we're gonna go. I'm gonna go. Here, hold on. We're gonna go back here. And so this is kind of, so what we're going to do here is nobody can.
I already know my favorite.
So what you want to do is you're going to take your finger and you're going to point at the bike that you think deserves the $100 Taco Moto gift certificate. So you just
the gift certificate.
Yeah, they get 100. So the one that you like the best. My finger is automatically kind of drawn to one. Like I don't know.
I got two that I really respect on there.
Okay, so you point at yours.
Yeah. Like this one.
You do?
Yeah. Maybe you would roost the heck out of those if we had those.
No, what about this? This?
That
like
that guy put the effort.
That's full effort.
Full keeper.
I like that too.
Anyone can have one of these.
Right.
That maybe not. This Yamaha that guy is
Yamaha.
amazing.
The Yamaha wins.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bryce
He doesn't need the money.
That's
going
to be a little. Yeah, the guy with the snow bike probably owns
that 2002 gem of a 250.
And anybody with a Husaberg 570 is so rich of spirit they don't need to win the award. Those other two KTMs, one of them has already talked about the hell out of it. The other guy probably needs it, but his picture didn't match his list. But the YZ did everything we asked for, and it's an excellent example of somebody who takes pride in ownership. Yep. And he actually agreed with me when I said something, which is kind of strange.
Mm-hmm.
I pointed out the one mod that bike actually probably really needs, the only one that it really needs, and it's all good. Yeah. So and he's tuning in live from Australia. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Down under, mate.
Hopefully that's like 500 Australian bucks.
No, he can buy
Bryce,
a lobster.
A lobster
for the Barbie.
So Bryce, go ahead and
I like lobster.
They're
more expensive.
Go ahead and message us on Facebook or Instagram, and we'll tell you how to reclaim that.
Yeah, make sure that Matt gets your info, and we'll take care of that. So super awesome.
I'm gonna go clean my bike up and take some pictures of it.
Oh.
No, take a video.
I don't have any mods. I'm gonna have to do like OEM everything. I have one.
No, you have
a Simcoe hose kit.
I saw that. I was wondering about that today.
New grips.
So you eliminated your thermostat.
I didn't touch it. I had Chris Blaze do that for me.
Oh, so your thermostat is just gone.
I don't know if
it doesn't exist. Because I was wondering about that today because I was watching my temperature today when I was riding around. Like I was going up those hills and because I have some different stuff on that bike that I have. And I was just kind of watching them, and I looked at your bike and I saw, because I have a hose kit on mine too. And I saw you had the hose kit. I'm like, I wonder if his bike's running warm enough because it was cool. It was breezy today.
No, it was, and I don't. Yeah. So nice bikes, guys. Nice bikes.
That's what we get. We're getting some good submissions
all across the world.
Some people
are reaching out around the world.
Yes,
that's pretty cool.
Some people don't follow the rules to submit. So if you're wondering how can I get my bike on Rooster Endo, you send us the year, make, model, so we know what the hell we're talking about. Because some people don't even tell us that. We have to guess. And then you tell us the mods you've done to it. You don't have to tell us why. Just tell us. We'll tell you why we think you did it.
Yeah.
And then if you're on the show, you can defend yourself when we start just like going down Jimmy Lane, which is really a bad place to go. Right? Right, Matt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bryce was here, and he was interacting, and that helped him win.
It did. No, his bike. He submitted all the information though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a hard.
His bike was also
His
legitimately awesome.
Yeah.
It was in English.
Not cursive.
Yeah, it was in English, but his bike was legitimately cool.
Yeah. So it was a cool bike. It was a red blue crew, and he had double O
And he
Zabos.
came clean on the came clean on the color.
Hey, does he know who Don Zabo is? Bryce, do you know who Zabo is? You need to search double O Zabo on the internet, so the YouTubes, and then watch.
He's got his own station.
And watch a Krusty Demon video.
Yep, he's OG.
Yeah. Old Zabo.
He's riding with the Three Brothers crew.
He's stoked.
The
Look,
original
he's
Krusty
stoked.
Demons of Dirt videos, Don Zabo,
Yeah, he's OG Krusty.
Yeah.
I went riding with
Magic
Zabo.
Canyon.
Zabo could not ride to the jump. He literally had a hard time riding his motorcycle out to the jump, and we got to this wall jump, gnarly ass wall jump, and he just went rot and sent it just like pancake flat. I'm like, huh? This guy couldn't even ride. He just did this. How did this guy do it? Yeah.
Wait, is Zabo the guy who he like his whole thing was just hitting like the biggest jumps, and that was like all he would do?
that's what Seth, wasn't it?
They're good friends and roommates.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. He's the original Krusty Demons crew.
Yeah, they're just he's just one of the guys.
Yeah.
Don was just one of the. He was just a snowboarder that sent it. His moto stuff is nothing. You've got to watch his snowboard videos.
Well, he's
The old flesh
Double
mills,
O
right?
Zabo.
Yeah,
Zabo.
yeah.
Double O Zabo.
Dude, when they were doing all the chase scenes and the snowboard videos.
I actually got to film some of that.
Yeah, so sweet.
Chase him with the camera.
Yeah.
I might be showing my age.
Anyway.
I've actually never seen those Krusty Demon videos.
No,
I just know some of the big. Only know some of the big clips. Like the
you
big famous ones.
I bet you we can get Zabo to come out and ride with us.
Oh, Zabo, he'll ride e-bikes with me all the time.
Yeah, we can get Zabo to go ride e-bikes with us.
Yeah.
So he's into
Do a
that.
tech talk.
He'd probably do a tech
I
talk.
love it. He'd love to get on there.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring him in sometime. Guy's classic. I could tell he'd probably get pissed off if I told him the first time we went riding story. Cause he was just hunting beach dude.
Pulled all these guys off the beach, and you had to someone had to teach him. Or should I say us?
So cool. Okay, Matt. What else do we got here?
Do
we have any?
I'm trying to see if there's any questions in the chat. Let's see here.
Yeah.
If you have any questions you want to ask, go ahead and put them in the chat right now. I thought I saw one earlier.
Bryce says Hope Taco Moto sells the brake kit. So Bryce, I would be willing to bet that they could get you the Galfer thing that you need, the Galfer brake line. It was a kit. If you start searching that stuff out, you'll be able to find it. And then I would almost be willing to bet that a KTM brake line would be the right length, because it's just a brake line, and it's a fitting and a hose, and I'm pretty sure that I don't know that maybe because it would be like 12 millimeter versus, I don't know, but yeah, they would know.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
It would just make the brakes work so much better. I remember those things. We always had to bleed them. The old thing. It was a patent thing. It was a patent infringement.
Got it.
Like
I remember
they
tucking it under there.
Yeah, they couldn't do that. So, and that was a mod I used to do. Those bikes gave you much better brake feel.
Right.
So,
okay. So this is a question that my notes say we didn't ask last week, but there's a small chance we did. So this is from Should You Lower Your Bike video. This is JT. The question is, adjusting to your height / inseam should be included when buying from a dealership. $10,000 for a bike is a lot for someone who has to put more money into it to ride it, specifically dirt bikes.
what is he asking? He's asking.
So he's saying that when you purchase a bike, there should be an option to lower it at the dealership. Because
with KTM, they have a. Yeah. KTM has a kit. You bought one.
I bought it. Yeah, my wife.
Jenny, how tall are you?
5'2".
5'2". And you had it lowered. What? It was the KTM lowering kit, which is like an inch and a half or something. Yeah, and there's a kit that they sell.
That you just have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't come that way.
It's custom.
But you can.
I think he's saying, but he thinks it should be included. Like you shouldn't have to pay extra for it.
Oh, he's
I think that's
feeling.
his
He's
point.
feeling. He's feeling
So, like-
slighted because he's a small dude.
New
Yeah,
riders,
so-
will feel- once they get into the $20,000, mark, then they'll, yeah.
The mods you get.
Oh
I-
God.
Yeah, I
In a perfect world,
well, you would think that
they used to
maybe.
give it, and they should give everybody a trophy at the races too, huh?
Yeah, but
Everybody
so
should get
I'm gonna just go off on a limb here. But you think about it. So KTM's building suspension, and they're doing. Why don't they just make like
Air ride.
200 sets of lowered suspension, and then dealers can actually order a lowered one. I mean, that would be
that'd be popular.
And KTM could do that. Or I'm actually surprised somebody doesn't build they don't downgrade the components on take an EXC and then downgrade make Beta does
Like
it with
different groups of mountain bikes.
Beta does it with the X Trainer. He should just buy an X Trainer, and then it comes lower already. It actually has a smaller frame. It's a different deal.
Right.
So
Right. So that's pretty much kind of all the questions that we have from YouTube and Facebook comments.
okay. Hey, you know what I was gonna complain about today?
What's that?
Nothing. Nothing.
Good.
Oh,
No.
good day.
You go for it, right? You should bring the whole screen up because I'm getting sick of looking at myself. There we go. That's what a producer does, fixes the damn screen.
With a button.
Yeah, he has some
that?
buttons
No
down
wonder
there
he's in
makes the
charge
whole
over
thing
there.
work.
You look good
I
back
think-
there. Good. It's like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, so Jimmy Cam isn't working right now, but so it's just the wide shot and then the zoom shot. So I can't zoom in on me. Yeah,
No,
that camera disconnected. So
Right.
I
Things
have
are
these two camera angles.
Look at-
Well, hey,
Good.
Jimmy, have you heard about the new Yamaha 4-strokes?
Have I heard about them?
Yeah.
No. Should I?
Well,
Oh,
well.
wait a minute.
Did you
Do
know that for?
anything about 'em?
Yeah. Did you know that for motocross riders driven to dominate, the Yamaha YZ line of 4-stroke bikes are built for victory?
You know what? I think that happened at Race Alert. Plug your ears for the next 10 seconds. Yeah, it looked like that happened at Daytona, my friend.
I would agree. So you can visit YamahaMotorsports.com today to explore what's new and improved for 2022. The YZ450F and YZ250F bring performance and powerful 4-stroke engines, reduced unspring weight, and new suspension settings. For the look of a full factory ride, both the YZ450F and YZ250F come in an exclusive Monster Energy Yamaha Racing Edition
Hey,
graphics
just
package.
like Eli Tomac's machine this
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we
That's
just
good.
spoiler
That's
alert.
really
Yeah.
good.
You can buy them like that.
I want to buy one.
Yeah, but I want to buy
wanna
one that
buy
makes me ride like Tomac, though. Who has been on Tech Talk
You know
Taco
what he
Tuesday.
does? What Tomac does, and we talked about this watching race.
These are women.
He straightens that bike up. He gets that thing straightened up, and then he lets her eat. I mean,
Right.
that's what I mean. He's just fast as shit, everybody. But he's so much better at just straightening that bike up and letting it go when it's
Right.
time to go.
I like hearing the interviews from the privateers who say, like, when Tomac is lapping you just by the sound of the engine because he's just on it so hard.
Look what happened. Look what happened. We don't talk about racing here, but they talk about this, and the Yamaha definitely does make a different noise. But they even talked about this when he was on his Kawasaki. You knew he was coming, and you watch McElrath move over because he knew Tomac was coming, even though he moved over into Webb.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. No, you listen to the other racing shows if you want to talk about racing, but like if you want to win, if you want to get into victory circle, I think you need to check out the Yamaha's line of YZ 4-strokes right now. So you can visit YamahaMotorsports.com, right?
Yeah. And you can also
Where do you
learn
go?
about their what's that?
Where do you go if you check that out?
Well, you go to Yamaha Motorsports, their website.
Right, but you go to Victory Circle.
You go to Victory
Straight
Zone.
to victory.
Victory Zone.
Victory Zone. Oh man.
Well,
Jeez.
speaking of Victory Circle, I thought it was really cool how they just let the fans on the track and like immediately after the race.
Oh,
that was actually really cool to watch.
Yeah, they can't do that at a normal stadium because then the fans go into the tunnels and they get into places they shouldn't. But Daytona,
Right.
It's pretty much a speedway, and then there's a whole nother wall that they can keep them out. But no, that is that's like an outdoor national, and that's the difference. I mean, like Supercross is a little bit like hands off, but you go to the outdoor, and it's a little more hands on. You can get a little bit. It seems like you can get a little bit closer to the action and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the outdoors for sure this year.
Any predictions? I know you don't talk about racing.
No, we're not going to talk about racing. We're going to talk about. Does anybody else need any help? Oh, so I know I don't complain about. So so there's these internet forums, like you get free stuff on the internet. You get free information, and here's how good your free information is. So some chick with a. I didn't really look at the picture because I just didn't even think about it, but it was a girl, and she posted a question about her bike, and she clearly said, my blah, 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 TPI KTM. I'm not going to go any farther about the other stuff that was in there. TPI. There was 20 dudes in there that told her how to jet her motorcycle after this. Told her how to jet, like talked about, and it's like, did you even read the question before, or did you just skip over that part, or did you not know what TPI is? And so this is the information you're getting. You ask a really good question. The question was a good question, and I would answer it if it was ever directed towards us. I would answer the question specifically and tell you that I really don't know the answer because I don't have the experience with that, and I can't give you a definitive answer. I can tell you some suggestions from my experience, but I don't know the definitive answer. And that's the difference between the way we answer questions and then your local mansplaining brodozer driving like, dude, I've got more horsepower than you. This is what you got to do. Answer a question. You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's a lot of weird information out there on the web.
The webs. Oh, yeah. The world web wide. So, well, Matt, I think you've done a great job making sure that I can continue on my vacation. Just keep my cat super happy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go spread
she's been really happy. She was a hit with my buddies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because I had two friends come be my test students for my I'm calling it my Learn to Ride clinic, which I'm excited to. Yeah.
How was the response from the Better Rider podcast? Hey, we didn't tell anybody how to go tonight.
Yeah.
What's that?
Don't ask me.
We didn't. Oh, well, you got hit by a deer or a coyote allegedly today.
Yeah, I did. I jumped off. I did jump off.
Yeah. Well, I told
Marco unknown reason.
I told Marco how to sit down going down downhills for better control. I told him how to sit down going down.
I had perfect control when I was sitting down.
Well, it worked, right?
I had to stand up.
I did a little quick analyzation because I understand. So Marco has an injured wing. His wing isn't as good as something, so he has to modify his riding style a little bit. And there was a he's like, the gnarly downhills are hard for him because it's really hard to get back because you end up putting a lot of weight in the handlebars. And I said, hey, just sit down. We're not going down downhills that are steep enough where you're going to flip. Sit down, get a good grip, and then relax and steer the bike with your hips. And he started doing it. It was really good.
Really works.
Except for the time the coyote or the deer.
Well, yeah.
Whatever happened there.
Boarded. Yeah. I have boarded.
Sounds like a good tip for we can include as a riding nugget in the Better Rider podcast.
We need to get Marco on the Better Rider podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, so if you're not subscribed to Better Rider, I subscribed last night. I went and subscribed to my own podcast last night. So you can just search Better Rider on any sort of podcast platform. Our little podcast comes up. We've dropped 2 episodes so far. There's a few more in the works. You will always get a nugget of knowledge. We tell you how to ride on that podcast.
Right. We have coach introductions and then broad concepts, and then there'll be a little nugget for you to learn from. And just about not all the episodes, but most episodes.
We stoke you out with a little nugget, but it's just we talk about like little things that'll help you become a better rider, whether beginner rider. And if you're a beginner rider, you need to email matt@jimmylewisoffroad.com, and Matt will tell you how to become a much better rider. He can give you a private class or talk about the online schools or all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yep.
And if you're a super high level guy, I can tell you everything you're doing wrong. Allegedly.
Well, I've been to the class at Jimmy Lewis Riding School out there, and I'm a firm believer in watching is learning, and then also classroom stuff and just talking about it and getting it in your head before you go ride.
Yeah.
So how long have you been riding for?
56 years.
Okay. So Marco's been riding a long time. How long do you think Ronnie's been riding for? Long time too. So and Ronnie was in yeah. So Marco's been riding since he was 2. Ronnie's high level intermediate motocrosser back in the day, trail rider now. So they both gone to the school, and then Jibber J, our buddy Jibber J, who might be watching me, is in the jacuzzi or like out in outer space right now. He wanted to know why he left too early because he missed the tacos.
Oh,
so Jibber J, he was asking us like, dude, what can you learn about riding? And both these guys are like, oh, dude, you have no idea.
Yeah. So you can't really talk about it. You just got to go do it. Do the class or take some classes online to start your learning. And then, save up, go to the class at any level, I think, really. I mean, you'll definitely want to be a rider. You want to learn to ride a motorcycle at this class. It's going to take a rider and make them better and safer. Yeah. For sure. Balance is everything. And you really don't know what you're doing until you're told by a pro.
Yeah, and not that I'm a pro. I just learned how to teach very well.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're a professional teacher.
Professional
so it
coach.
Worked out good.
Yeah.
So awesome. Everybody, thanks for joining in. Do we make everybody leave after that?
I'm not sure. I think my live viewer count thing is timed out on me here. So
right.
I'm not really sure how many people are watching, but I do want to thank our sponsors.
Go ahead. Thank the sponsors.
Okay, so I want to thank Yamaha, Taco Moto, Scott Sports. Were you wearing Scott Sports, Scott goggles today? Yeah,
light transitioning lenses today. Super awesome. My eyes are. I don't even have them. They're better than my snowboard goggles. So much better. Go ahead.
And were you wearing climb gear as well?
All day, every day. Look, this is climb. I've been wearing this climb. This stuff here. I've been wearing this for don't want to say how many days I've been wearing it for.
It smells fresh.
Yeah, it has the antimicrobial stuff. Look, I'm wearing Climb beanie right now.
Climb beanie right now. See, I'm rocking the Taco Moto shirt right now. That's my contribution.
Did you get hooked? Did you get hooked up when you picked up my tank?
Oh yeah, I got hooked up. Taco Mike he hooked me up. He hooked you up too, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that was my first time seeing the inside of Taco Moto's. I was actually pretty impressed by the little operation, not little anymore, their operation they got going on there. It's pretty nice.
Cool.
And then I also want to thank DDC Sprockets and Trail Tech.
Right, DDC. I was running DDC Sprocket today. No failures.
I wish I was.
Yeah.
I'm due.
Hey, you like all those gold medals right over Matt's shoulder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know if they're real gold though.
They're gold to me.
Yep. They look gold.
Okay, everybody. Well,
cool.
It was awesome for everybody joining in. Glad you could make another episode of Tech Talk Taco Tuesday. Remember, share this with your friends, especially the ones that ask you the dumb motorcycle questions. Have them send us those dumb motorcycle questions, and we can answer them so you don't have to, or you don't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay. With that, cool. You know what we say, Margo? Yeah. We will see you on the trail. Cheers.
See you guys. Thank you for watching.
Ride to the right.
Okay.
See you.